big problem. So obviously we left off yesterday. I want to do this part real quick because I felt this may be interesting for some people. So yesterday going into the day, obviously I mentioned that I'd be looking for the short side, previous day's low level, obviously as a drawn liquidity, and that I would only warrant that short under the condition that we would initially sweep out highs, because the current intraday high was not really established in my mind, meaning that some random swing high that forms at midnight Eastern time during Asia, right, is just completely irrelevant to me. And so going into the 15-minute right here, um, demanding this initial sweep above the highs. Some people would count this as an SMT. I don't trust that ever. I just rather miss trades than trade with an equal high SMT. And so we traded forward into New York. Never got up to sweep out this high. There was a logic for trading short here, I think some people took, that I wouldn't be on side with, but I guess someone trusted in that move. NASDAQ obviously just expanded right down into these lows. Let's see if we can pull up the NASDAQ just below us, like such. And so that left me with pretty much nothing to trade with. Previous day's low already tagged, never established a high above here, and so that's just irrelevant. Now what happens in this case is that because we've swept out this previous day's low level, because there is a bullish SMT on this level, how do I, there we go. Because there is a bullish SMT on this level, the first thing my mind goes to is these highs. Because as far as I can see this becomes immediately two-sided, right? Going into the day, we came off of a Tuesday expansion, and we'd be looking for price to stay heavy in the lower end of Tuesday's range to expand lower. But we would want the form of a setup where it looks like this right here, right? We want to see that clear accumulation, manipulation into distribution into the downside. What happens when we sweep out the low first is that the market may, how did I do this? The market may continue lower, sort of like this, but you're not trading away from a protected high. So there's always the risk of the fact that you're shorting on failure swings. And so the next plausible situation that comes to mind is that previous day's low is a logical level for a reversal, right? Many days can frame reversals off of the previous day's low level. And the fact that there's an SMT there may lead to something along these lines. Now, obviously, we ended up getting that sort of price action. If I was trading this day, if I had to, if I could manage to position near the lows here, I would have been, how do I get rid of you? Okay. I would have been looking to just, trade into these highs and at the very most, the midpoint of the previous day's range. That's something I've talked about as well. I had it on my chart as a potential drawn liquidity, but it was not a trade that I was willing to take or looking to trade into the upside because, as I mentioned before, invalidations are not really my thing. There's rare scenarios where I'll trade them, but in this case, was not one of those days where I'm looking to trade the upside. So off of that upside, obviously we get a deep retracement. It's a bit slow, but then ES sets up a beautiful run into the upside, and this is totally valid. This is a clean long, this is a clean day. Accumulates here, manipulates below the daily opening price on NASDAQ, creates an SMT at previous day's low, change in stated delivery, expands higher off of that. This would have yielded 2R without breaking a sweat. And so would this setup right here, which is a continuation of this down closed candle. Cool. So with that being said, further reference on this, you can obviously go check the example that I posted from a couple of weeks ago in my channel yesterday. But now that takes us into the 4-hour chart. So looking at the 4-hour, this is something that I was concerned with last night, and I had asked some people about their opinion on this logic, which is that we've traded from the weekly open higher on Monday. Tuesday failed to sweep out Monday's high, and so this means this is a failure swing, and to me, this high is not protected. Now, yesterday I did mention that I would be treating this high as protected on the NASDAQ under the prerequisite, essentially, that the NASDAQ had created a daily change in stated delivery, right? We had closed below the daily up close candle. And so I'm using that as a frame of reference to consider this high as kept in place without needing to see this sort of a candle be created, which this would be just perfect because that would make our weekly profile rather easy. And so, due to the fact that we never established that high, and that we've now, on the NASDAQ at least, created somewhat of a meaningful low below the weekly open on Wednesday, right? We traded down Tuesday, manipulated Wednesday below sell side on the NASDAQ. We've gone SMT on these lows, I believe. And then we've had a 4 hour change in state of delivery on the ES into the upside. So initially, my brain goes to ignore Monday and consider that this may be a form of a midweek reversal type of profile, right? It's not really good in the sense because of how Monday traded. So this really screws a lot of things up because if we take Monday right here, we've pretty much just been in Monday's range still this entire week. But I'm playing the logic of, is there an idea to trade the upside here? And so I discussed this idea with some people yesterday, and there was a case to be made for it, but it would need daily range confirmations, meaning after this initial run, we'd want to see the daily profile confirm or negate it. And now, obviously, Asia traded lower. I unironically had an alert on this level for close above, and I hope that maybe it would wake me up if we close above the daily open, and I could see if London had bottomed and we're trading higher. But what ended up happening is that we just completely ripped without, like this is 2 a.m. Eastern time and we're already ripping to the upside. And so now we've just expanded. Now, what this does is that we've got the daily opening here, open low, high, and ultimately we're trading up into our key level, which is where we're at currently. This could be considered the high, perhaps we trade higher, and we're looking for the rest of the day to be a low, into, so to say, like high into close, which makes this rather low probability, right? We're looking like this. And now we've missed this part of price action, and we may have to trade this part of price action if we're willing to engage. I'm not too firm on that just yet. Now, initially I'd have pre-market ideas, or I'd have charted something out that I'm expecting for the day initially. But right now, I'm going to be playing a bit more with the idea of the open. And so this may sound crazy for some people, but I'm not really interested in framing any more upside. And due to the massive overnight range, I could see New York willing to put in a retrace. If it flat out reverses, that's cool, that's fine by me. But a retrace seems to me at least the most logical due to the fact that the NASDAQ has created an SMT now at these highs. So in my mind, I'm thinking when the market opens at 9:30, it's going to see that the overnight range is extremely extended into the upside, and it's going to either accept this SMT and reverse, or it's going to just simply retrace into the range from our overnight expansion and maybe provide some means of a position to be putting on. Now, further confluence to that idea obviously is the fact that we've got our 830 right here, which is so far trading into the upside. So what would we need to see? Very simple. It's sort of like, let me see if I can find you guys that week. 1 second. I got you guys, don't worry. Where are you? There you are, you nasty demon. Kind of the same thing like right here, where we expanded aggressively overnight. And this was much more of a significant run than we're dealing with right now, right? We're looking at 306 handles overnight. You see 830 expands into the upside. There wasn't really a clear narrative for a reversal here either, and it was rather unexpected. But due to the way that the weekly is developing and the fact that there's no like firm, clear profile that we could be playing off of, I'm willing to take the chance, trading the logic of a 9:30 stop on a dime, turn the other way. Whether it'll deliver this specific move or not, once again, totally up to the market. I'm not too sure of that, but I would at least want to see some form of a run lower because I am currently not interested in framing the upside. Now, what about an upside scenario? So what if I was looking to trade an upside scenario? If I wanted to trade an upside scenario here, I would have preferred to see 830 expand lower. I would have preferred for 830 to create that failure swing, to then close above to create some measure of a protected low. Because if I'm looking at the daily candle like this, I've got this, oops, I've got this right here as a level of support. I've got this, and then I've got now this here soon. And then, it's like where do I want to put my stop? What if they sweep out this low and then go higher? What if they sweep out this one then go higher? Like there's nothing firm there. So I would have liked to have seen the open do something, the 8:30 open, of course. Where's that pen? Come here. Where are you? Ah, there. I would have wanted to see the 8:30 open do something along the lines of this, create a protected low in order to trade higher if I was going to be bullish. But due to the fact that the 8:30 open is trading higher, I have no choice other than to look for a potential downside or let this day go altogether. When the overnight expands like this, you're really just left with those choices, right? Either see what the volatility drivers do, pair them up in a meaningful manner where you may have a logic for a trade that you're willing to put on, or you're just going to have to simply let it go because this is extremely extended and the market could just do absolutely nothing up here, right? It's pretty much met this higher time frame objective. It's expanded all throughout the day. And so if we just measure this day's range from Asia low up to there, we're looking at 280 handles. To expect much more from the market, let's say we were taking this external high as a draw, we'd be looking at another at 120 handles from the market. It's never too sure how likely it is to expand to there. So that's why you just want to be on the safe side of things. Now let me clean this thing up. I'll keep this here on. And then if this doesn't present and if 9:30 doesn't turn aggressively, I'll let this day go and I'll just be focusing on next week because we have OPEX and so Friday is likely going to be sucky sucky. Cool. Any questions? ICT, I can't trade. Why are you saying that about yourself, man? That's not chill. Due to the run overnight, do you think we're needing a rebalance to equilibrium? Yeah, that's like the logic that I'm thinking of here. A lot of people don't use this, but I'll utilize this when you have a large overnight range. Is that the relation between where we closed yesterday and where we're going to open is going to be like something like this, right? Currently. So this massive range, you could look for a run into the midpoint of that on a day like this, sort of how you see this right here. If I were to take the open from that prior week's close, prior day's close, so this is the overnight gap, we trade up into midpoint and then expand lower. On large range expansion days overnight, you'll see that exact same thing happening as well. Here's that Thursday that I was talking about, right? Previous day closes here, we expanded all throughout the night, and then the market opens at 9:30 and immediately fills out this gap. So when you have these large overnight ranges, you can sort of play with the idea that the market may want to retrace back into it. Oh yeah, yeah. There we go. So that's sort of what I'm looking for. But right now, this just looks like the devil. The devil just wants to pump higher. Just call him online. News didn't do shit either, so that may be valid. Yeah, it was two-sided, huh? Wait, let me see. Yeah, sort of an indecisive news driver. But man, she's going crazy. I wonder where Yes is at. My portfolio is loving this. That's the thing. I mean, lately with all this bull market, it's like frustrating if you're a trader, but the stock portfolio is just absolutely loving it. So I'm not in too bad of a mood about this. I have to see. That okay, cool. Why did you divorce Nasdaq for ES? I have to be honest with you guys. As much as I love the Nasdaq and as much as I hate ES, this asset has been on on demon time for the last couple of weeks. It's really been so good. It's been completely superior. There's some days where the Nasdaq's been delivering better, but ES in all regards has been leading lately, and it's just been much cleaner. And so I've just got to take a break from Nasdaq, but I'm looking to convince the Nasdaq to be in an open relationship with me, you know. So she'll be my main chick, but I get to cheat with ES, just not YM, because that's like that'll make me gay. We're all waiting for the moment. Where's my guts? I'm a Ghana from Africa. I want to make it with forex trading, but I need a mentor. But the thing is, I can't afford it. Just use the free help you can here, brother. Trust me on that. It's more than enough. My brother got it. Kiko, but Nasdaq can do 800 points. It feels like. Yeah, totally. I mean, like, I'm not denying the idea of an upside. It can keep going higher, but that's just not a market that I can trade or that I'm willing to trade. Not my thing, right? If it just freaking rips at the open, keeps going higher. I can't position myself in that unless there's some form of a protected low to trade away from. Because in my mind, these are all failure swings, right? Like this is all just low resistance liquidity. And I'm not saying it needs to all get ran out, but what I'm saying is that in order for me to put on a position, I'd need to at least see something like that, sweep out, let's say, these lows, and then this is a protected low, so I may now trade the upside after it's confirmed. That is something that could maybe work, but it's looking kind of dim, you know, with where we're at. All-time high price action can be a bit tricky, a little bit. Let's delete these ugly drawings. What is OPEC? OPEX, option expiration. So because options expire, options contracts expire, I believe this Friday or Saturday. The market may do something where on Friday it just stays in a small range, because when options are expiring, if they expire negative, that can have a bigger impact on people. And if they expire positive, that can have a bigger impact on people. So they kind of want to expire it right where it's at, which means that it's going to stay in a tight range. It's going to maintain a single price point. You can go back test the last couple of OPEX days we had, and you'll see exactly that. Can you repeat again why the longs yesterday was valid, please? I'm sorry, no, but just check my channel. Check Kiko channel. I explained it all there because I just went through that. Freddy, my boy! Great review, Kika. I agree. Would love to be long with those conflicting SMTs at highs now with potential bearish daily profile makes it easier to grab short. Yeah, short looks a bit more feasible, you know? We just, as I mentioned, it's always about how quick can the open turn. Can it turn aggressively and just break down lower, or is it going to be hesitant? And then based off that, you just make your idea. That's the dope thing about trading with confirmations. It's that you're just always waiting, 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 waiting. And as long as you don't see what you want to see, you're removed from the marketplace, so you don't lose any money. But if you see what you want to see, you can capitalize on it. And here comes the cat. Get, come here. Come here. Yeah, not yet. Come here. One second, I have to get the cat. Speaking again. Get. Alrighty. If there's no left, Mr. Ace. Cat on the keyboard. Get out of here. Yes. Which time frame should we focus on mostly for Nasdaq and ES? That's completely up to you. You're gonna have to see what works for you. I cannot answer that question. Wait, where did I flex? What happened? What happened? Did I do something? What did I do? I feel like I may have dogged something. Trade all-time high to use standard deviation for targets. Yeah, among other things. I'll send a short review of this bias again in my channel, Beritunda, so don't worry if you can't see anything. This is something that you guys have to check out on your side, because sometimes there's issues with the stream and whatnot. Mr. T asks how long I've been trading. Just about 13, maybe 14 months now. I do not have channel YouTube. No channel YouTube. Isn't that a market micro buy model, which we are in right now? So are we targeting highs in New York, but also thought of New York retracement to the downside? We are in a buy model, but ES has met its external objective. And so we can almost treat it as if this is completed and look for a retracement back into the range to then either see a continuation higher later in the week or next week, or see NASDAQ fail the buy model and break down lower. I've always been on futures pretty much, like 90% of the time. On use Safari, I no idea. I never thought about it. Yo, that's a crazy cat. What the hell? I'll send a picture of mine in a second. I just don't want to do it right. Actually, wait, check this out. I'll send it in indices chat. Because he's literally on my mouse pad now. Give me a second. I'm a bit off topic. It's not like we're missing out in the market. Check this out. There you go. Okay, good morning, Mr. Not a Robot. All right, cool. I think that sums it up. If there's no other questions, I will depart with you guys and start doing my journal so that I may lose a lot of money on this trading day. Hopefully. this shit's cooked, man. Damn, 13 years. No, not not 13 years. 13 months. 14 months, something like that. Thank you, Mr. DGP. Wait, DGP, why did you lose Resident? Did you leave or something? Didn't you have Resident? Who is your mentor? T-Trades. I have to give you Resident back. Resident. Alrighty. Never left, so not sure. Okay, no idea. Anyways, I think no more questions left, guys. I'll leave you all with this. I'll do a quick review again of this and post it on my channel for the guys who couldn't see the screen. And then I'll see you all around. Have a good one. Bye bye.